Why do some people quietly end up wealthy, while others earn a lot but stay stressed and broke? The difference isn't IQ. It's not job title. It's habits. Today, I'm going to show you how Singaporeans can use simple time and money rules to build cash flow-rich lives. And I'll share 2 true stories that will completely change the way you look at wealth. Stay with me till the end. You'll learn practical, step-by-step actions you can take starting tonight. If you find this helpful, like this video so more Singaporeans can watch, and subscribe to Wealth for You so you never miss our dividend investing and CPF strategies. Just a quick note. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Investing carries risk. Always do your own research and consult a licensed advisor if needed. Chapter 1. 2 stories that explain everything. Meet Ronald Reed, a quiet janitor and security guard in a small American town. No flashy car, no high salary, no big inheritance. When he passed away in 2014 at the age of 92, everyone was stunned. His net worth was over $8 million. No lottery win, no secret business empire. Ronald simply lived frugally, saved consistently, and invested patiently. Decades of compounding turned ordinary paychecks into extraordinary wealth, and he donated most of it to charity. Think of Ronald like that Singapore uncle who quietly tops up his CPF SA, buys SSBs and REIT ETFs, and just lets time and compounding do the work. No flexing on social media, no FOMO. Yet decades later, he's the one living stress-free, collecting dividends, and leaving a legacy. Now meet Richard Fuscone, Harvard MBA, high-flying Merrill Lynch executive. Retired early, built a mega mansion with 11 bathrooms, 2 elevators, 2 swimming pools, and spent over $90,000 a month just to maintain it. Life looked perfect, until the 2008 financial crisis hit. Overnight, most of his wealth evaporated. With massive debt and assets he couldn't sell, Richard filed for bankruptcy. The mansion? Repossessed by the bank. If Ronald is the CPF top-up uncle, Richard is the guy who stretches a 35-year condo loan, buys a luxury car on hire purchase, and counts on his bonus to keep up, but panics when interest rates rise or the market turns. These 2 lives couldn't be more different, and yet they reveal the same truth. Financial success isn't about your degree, title, or even how much you earn. It's about behavior, how you treat time, money, and risk every single day. Up next, how you can apply this. So how do we become the Ronald Reed of our HDB block? Quietly building wealth, letting compounding work, and avoiding the mistakes that lead to financial stress? In the next chapter, I'll break down the exact time habits and money habits that separate the cash flow rich from the constantly broke, and how you can start applying them in Singapore tonight. Chapter 2. Time Habits of the Rich, Singapore Edition. After hearing Ronald's and Richard's stories, the next question is simple. What do the Ronald Reeds of Singapore actually do every day? The truth is, the difference between rich and poor isn't just what they invest in. It's how they spend their 24 hours. Most people wake up, grab their phone, and start doom-scrolling TikTok or Instagram before they even brush their teeth. They rush to work, spend lunch complaining about the boss, gossip about politics, and end the day with 3 hours of Netflix or WhatsApp gossip before collapsing into bed. Weekends? Sleep until noon, then spend money to reward themselves for a hard week of work. But the rich design their day differently. They wake up and focus before the world distracts them. Some exercise, some write down goals, some read a few pages of a book. During the day, they focus on results, not just staying busy. When evening comes, they don't use it to escape the day. They use it to design the next one. For a Singapore twist, here's something you can do tonight. Spend 20 minutes doing portfolio hygiene. Log into your CPF account and check how much you've got in OA, SA, and MA. Review your SSB ladder, your T-bill maturities, and your REIT ETF yields. Then take 30 minutes to upskill. Read a REIT annual report, learn a basic valuation ratio, or take a short course to increase your earning power. Remember this: your evenings decide your future more than your mornings. Use them to build, not just binge. Chapter 3. Money Rules That Actually Work in Singapore. Time habits shape your future, but money habits decide whether you end up like Ronald Reid or like Richard Fuscone. Rule number 1. Spend interest, not principal. Live off dividends, coupons, and cash flow. Keep your capital compounding so it works harder every year. This is the Ronald Reid mindset: quiet, boring, and unstoppable. Not the mansion with 11 bathrooms mindset that collapses at the first financial shock. Rule number 2. Buy cash flow, not status. In Singapore, it's tempting to upgrade to a new condo, take a 35-year mortgage, or buy a car just to show face. But every $200,000 want could cost you hundreds of thousands in future dividends. Instead, buy assets that pay you. REIT ETFs, local bank stocks, SSBs, T-bills, or investment-grade bond funds. The rich don't buy things to look rich. They buy things that make them richer. Rule number 3. Match your buckets to your goals. For the next 1 to 3 years, keep funds safe in SSBs, T-bills, or a short-duration bond ETF. For 3 to 7 years, mix REIT ETFs, Singapore bank stocks, and quality dividend companies. For 7 years or more, add global dividend growers and overseas diversification. Rule number 4. Automate the boring. Set up a GARO or standing order to dollar cost average $500 to $1,000 a month into a REIT ETF or a basket of dividend stocks. Reinvest dividends unless you've already planned to spend them. The boring automated approach wins because it removes emotion, removes timing mistakes, and keeps you consistent. Chapter 4. The 7 Hidden Traps. By now, you can probably see how small daily choices create a huge wealth gap over time. But here's the danger. Even when we know what to do, there are 7 silent traps that keep Singaporeans broke. And they catch almost everyone at some point. The first trap is having no financial plan, just earning, spending, and hoping everything works out. Without a plan, money always finds a way to disappear. The second is overspending, especially on things we don't really need. That flash sale, that new gadget, that last-minute trip to Bangkok because everyone else is going. The third trap is instant gratification. We want the car now, the condo upgrade now, the holiday now, even if it means using credit or stretching our budget thin. The fourth is not setting long-term goals. Without a target, there's nothing to aim for. And without a target, it's easy to say, I'll invest next year, when things are less stressful. The fifth is fear of investing. Some people stay in cash because they're scared of losing money. Ironically, by avoiding short-term volatility, they guarantee long-term stagnation. Their money gets eaten by inflation. The sixth is social comparison. The "my friend just bought a condo, I must buy too" mindset. This one keeps more Singaporeans broke than we like to admit. And the seventh is not learning new skills. The world is changing fast. If you aren't upgrading your earning power, you risk falling behind even if you save diligently. Chapter 5. The Anti-Trap Checklist, Singapore Edition. So how do we escape these traps? Here's your simple checklist. Build a 12-month cash runway using SSBs or T-bills. Peace of mind is the first step to financial freedom. Fix a savings rate, 30%, 40%, even 50% if you can, and invest automatically on salary day. Cap lifestyle creep by putting half of every pay raise straight into investments before you get used to spending it. Unfollow FOMO triggers, the Instagram ads, the flash sale notifications, the group chat that makes you feel like you're missing out. Learn one money skill every quarter. How to read a REIT balance sheet. How to calculate bank ROE. How to compare bond yields. The point isn't to be perfect. The point is to catch yourself early before these traps quietly drain your time, your money, and your future freedom. Chapter 6. Wealth is what you don't see. Here's something that will, honestly, completely change the way you think about money. True wealth is invisible. The cars, the bags, the restaurant posts on Instagram, those are just spending on display. The people who look the richest are often just the people spending the most. But the ones who are really building wealth? Their riches are hidden, quietly growing in CPF SA top-ups, SRS contributions, REIT ETF units, bond ladders, and dividend portfolios. You don't see it because they're not showing it off. They're letting compounding do its work. So, don't copy visible consumption. Copy invisible compounding. Be that person who smiles quietly when CPF interest is credited, who reinvests dividends, who has cash ready for the next market dip, even if it means taking MRT and buses instead of buying that expensive car or skipping the IG-worthy overseas holidays. And if you're ever tempted to buy a luxury item just for respect, pause and ask, am I really buying this for myself or for other people's approval? The truth is, humility and kindness earn more respect than any supercar or condo upgrade ever will. Because at the end of the day, real wealth isn't about how loudly you can spend. It's about how quietly you can grow. Now, coming up next. Now that you know wealth is what you don't see, let's turn that idea into a practical Singapore action plan, so you can start building your own invisible fortune tonight. Chapter 7. Your Singapore Wealth Blueprint. Now that we've seen how true wealth is invisible, let's turn that idea into a plan you can actually follow. A simple system to make sure you become the Ronald Reid of your HDB block, not the Richard Fuscone of Bukit Timah. It starts with mapping your buckets. Think of your money like 3 tanks. First, the safety bucket. Fill this first, with 6 to 12 months of expenses in SSBs or T-bills. This is your emergency runway, your mental peace of mind fund. Next, the income bucket. This is where the magic happens. Build a base of REIT ETFs, Singapore banks, and maybe a short-duration bond ETF to give you steady, predictable dividends. Then, the growth bucket. Whatever's left can go into global dividend growers or a low-cost world ETF, which is perfect if you're using your SRS and want global diversification. Once the buckets are mapped, automate the flow. Set up a gyro or standing order the day after payday so money flows straight into your investments before you can spend it. Reinvest your dividends automatically unless you've planned to spend them. Then, guard your big decisions. Thinking of upgrading property? Stress test at plus 2% interest rates, factor in vacancies and renovation costs. Thinking of buying a car? Calculate the total cost of ownership, then compare it to how much dividend income you're giving up every year. That reality check alone stops a lot of impulse buys. Next, build a quarterly ritual. Every 3 months, review your CPF and consider topping up your SA or MA if it makes sense. Rebalance your portfolio, read at least one annual report, and update your dividend calendar so you know exactly what's coming in. Finally, live with intention. Define what enough means for you. Stop chasing what everyone else is flaunting. Cash flow rich is always better than paper rich. Choose time freedom over status every single time. Chapter 8. The Millionaire Janitor versus the Bankrupt Banker. Lessons for Singaporeans. Remember Ronald Reid? Small, steady, boring. He just kept going for decades and let compounding do the heavy lifting. That's the path to lasting wealth. And remember Richard Fuscone. High income, high leverage, high stress. It all came crashing down because his wealth was built on a shaky foundation. Here in Singapore, You actually have a huge edge if you choose to use it. CPF is a guaranteed 4% compounding machine in your SA. SSBs and T-bills give you a safe buffer when markets get rough. REITs and banks offer one of the world's strongest dividend cultures, and local brokers make it easy to automate everything so you can stay consistent without thinking too hard. Use these tools. Build quietly. Let compounding do its work. Because in 10, 20, 30 years, the difference between you and everyone else won't be how many condos you've bought or how many cars you've driven. It will be how much freedom you've created for yourself and your family. Final thoughts. So here's the big picture. Building wealth isn't about luck, IQ, or some secret insider tip. It's about habits. What you do with your time, your money, and your choices every single day. Ronald Reid didn't become wealthy by hitting the jackpot. He just showed up, stayed consistent, and let compounding do the work. Richard Fuscone, despite all his credentials and success, fell because his foundation was fragile. Too much debt, too little margin of safety. You now have a simple Singapore-specific blueprint. Fill your safety bucket with SSBs and T-bills. Build your income bucket with REIT ETFs and bank dividends. Automate your investing so you stay disciplined even when you're busy. Guard the big decisions: property, car, lifestyle creep. And most importantly, design a life where you are cash flow rich, not paper rich. And here's your challenge. Don't just watch this video and nod along. Take one action tonight. Check your CPF SA balance. Set up a monthly standing instruction with your broker or robo-advisor to buy a REIT ETF. Cancel one subscription and redirect that money into your next investment. Or simply sit down and write your enough number. If this video gave you an aha moment, hit that like button so more Singaporeans can see it. Subscribe to Wealth for You for more dividend investing, CPF, and cash flow strategies every week. And comment below. What's the one habit you'll start changing today? Your time habit or your money habit? Because remember, success isn't a miracle, it's a schedule. Your 24 hours and your dollars are already writing tomorrow's bank account. Make them count.